So let's think about the B&I process. When you bring a visitor in, we don't have any visitors today, correct? A couple subs. When a visitor comes in, tell me what the process is. And directors, keep your hands down. You better know this. Anyone else? Cooper? When a visitor comes in, what's supposed to be the process?
Meet them at the door, find out who they are.
Do you give them anything?
What's that?
Do they get anything?
They're going to get a name tag, and then you're going to bring them in.
Okay.
Start introducing them basically to everyone in the chapter and engage them.
And try and find out who their power team is. They also do get an envelope, and visitor hosts to make sure there's an envelope, and it doesn't have an application. It just, what do you know about B&I? So they have something tangible in their hands, because B&I is an intangible piece. And if they've never been to a meeting, it's like, that fear factor. Think about when you went to your first meeting. What were your thoughts going through your mind? Who are these people? Either what can I get, what can I give? And chances are, if you've been here for a while, your thought process is, what can I give? So what happens next with a visitor? And this ties into accountability. So what happens next with a visitor? Anyone?
After the meeting, during the meeting, they get a chance after everyone has done their 60-second presentation to stand up and, do a 60-second and talk about their business. And after the meeting, they get to do a visitor orientation.
Good. So the president will say, it's now visitor hosts to go out with their visitor hosts and get a visitor orientation. It's about 8:25, depending where you are on the agenda, but it's towards the end of the meeting. And it's an education process. Visitor hosts, now, Michelle, you're a director, but you filled in for as a visitor host today, and I know you're a visitor host in your own chapter. So what do you discuss out there? Do you give them the secret sauce? Do you say, do you talk about members? What do you do during that?
No, actually, we talk about, we ask them, we give them the application, we ask them if we can help them fill it out.
Mm-hmm.
And if they have any questions for us. One of the things that we do is we actually listen to what they stand up and say when the president asks what's the one thing.
Big key.
Yeah, what is the one thing that they heard today? And we use that information to say to them, you say that B&I can do, this is the one thing that you get from that. So we use that to reiterate that with them. And
The one thing that can help them grow their
the
business.
one thing that can help them grow their business.
Correct.
And then, help them fill out the application. We don't talk too much, we listen.
Right. Listen. And that's when you're, basic sales.
Yes.
You want to listen. You don't want to talk. The other piece of that is you want to help them to understand the policies, the system, the processes, certainly the time. You go over all that. The attendance policy. Meeting starts at 7 o'clock. If you come at 7:01, you're late. You are allowed up to 3 absences. And you can't make it in a dictatorial kind of, you got it. And I've seen visitor hosts do that because that turns people off. It's a conversation. B&I has been around for 30 years, and these rules, these policies, and these guidelines came from the advisory board, which is members. Again, why did we create those? They're all part of what? Which is part of what? Thank you. It all ties together. Accountability, accountability, accountability. So one thing, and this is a little bit of test. Again, directors, please don't answer this because I know we went over this at our last meeting. What's one thing you can't do with B&I? You can't blank B&I.
So,
Right. Why can't you sell it?
B&I should sell itself.
It's also not for sale.
Right.
You can't join B&I. You have to be invited to
Right.
apply. Again, the accountability. If someone joins B&I, it kind of takes away the piece of being accountable. But because they accepted all the terms, they're agreeing to be held accountable. So how else can you be held accountable? What are all the parts of the system? Anyone? Jessica?
One-to-ones.
Great. One-to-ones are, what's Steve Gambino's guarantee about one-to-ones? If you don't do them, you fail. Pure and simple. And I tell this story, and I apologize if I've said it here. There was a member, I was on the board of a chamber when I first applied to be part of B&I. And he found out I was joining B&I, and said, oh, that thing doesn't work, that thing doesn't work. So, really? What doesn't work? And me being new, I'm like, well, I'm going to try it. Okay, let's see. I've heard great things about it. It's been around for a long time. Maybe something different. So, a year into it, I'm doing okay. And as a coach, it's difficult to find referrals, and people have to understand what you do. I was doing a lot of one-to-ones. Then I mentioned something, this guy said it didn't work, and they're like, he didn't do one-to-ones. I'm like, really? He did 3 one-to-ones in a year. Well, P.S., let's go forward 9 years now. The company he worked for, it was an insurance agency. He's no longer part of them. They specialize in commercial. They are in 4 different chapters, including the head of the agencies in my own chapter. They get it, and they do a lot of one-to-ones.